I would say the most important part of March Madness, if you're trying to win your bracket league, maybe your work league, a friend group league, whatever you're doing, is you got to pick the Final Four right. You got to pick the Final Four, and then if you pick the champion correct, obviously that's going to give you a higher shot of winning your bracket, winning your bracket challenge at that point, because the multiplier just goes up exponentially. So you could theoretically pick a 16 over a 1. If you're not able to get the Final Four right, you could still end up not winning. So you could go, also, you can go perfect till the Elite Eight, and which would put you really high. But if you don't pick any of the proper Final Four teams or the champion, it's going to be really tough to win your bracket. So I did want to go over the teams that I think have an actual legitimate shot to win the NCAA tournament. And if we're just looking at the analytics based here, I think that you get kind of a good indication of the teams that I think can. Purdue, I personally don't have them in my Final Four, but I could see a path where they were able to win the NCAA tournament. I think Houston is a really honestly good pick, because a lot of the percentage of people are going UConn, and if you're able to have Houston, that it ups your chances a lot. But UConn, obviously, when we find them, they're only sitting 10th analytically, but this is a team that has probably the best percentage wise to win it all. Illinois is a team that could definitely have a shot, I think, if they're able to get out of what is a pretty tough region. North Carolina is there. And then I think one of the more sneaky teams that has a shot for me is Auburn. Auburn's got a legitimate shot to win this. They're a 4 seed, but they have a legitimate chance to actually pull it off. So we'll really see. We'll really see what ends up happening. But if you're looking at the way this shakes up here, like, let's start just at the East region. Out of this region, I think I'm going to just do it here by regions. The teams that can compete here, you have UConn, who obviously everybody's favorite to win it. They definitely got a shot. Then Auburn. If Auburn finds a way to beat UConn, they definitely have a shot to run the table. If they beat UConn, I think they would definitely be the team that is able to go to the Final Four, and they might be able to win it. I mean, we've seen before Auburn make a run to the Final Four, so it's not that crazy. And they're coming off that SEC tournament championship. That's a lot of momentum, so I think they definitely got a shot. Then you have Illinois. This is a team that I think seriously could win it, if obviously they're able to take down UConn. I think that if Auburn beats UConn, they're going to be able to beat Illinois. They're just going to have too much momentum. But I think if UConn beats Auburn, and Illinois might have a shot to beat them there. I'm not that high on Iowa State. I don't think they have a shot to win it all. If we're going to the West region, North Carolina or Arizona in this. If I'm just looking at the way these shake up, there's only 2 teams that I think can actually. Now, Final Four is a whole different story, but teams that could get out of this region and actually win the national championship, it's Arizona or North Carolina. If you go to the South region, I think Houston got a tremendous draw in this tournament. The more that I look at it, the more that I really go through, Houston got it. There's not another team in this South region that I think could win the national, that could win it all. Marquette I just don't think that highly of Marquette. I think there's possibilities where Florida could upset Marquette at 2. I don't have that, but I'm just not that high on Marquette. So you have Houston as definitely a team, but probably the only team out of the South region that I would have would be Houston winning it all. And then you go to the very interesting Midwest region, and obviously we did hear the news today that Kansas, debatably could have been a sleeper, although they've been playing terrible, to maybe beat Purdue in the Sweet 16. But after the news that their best guy isn't going to be playing, or one of their best guys, they probably expect them to be out a lot earlier than expected. But Purdue definitely would have a shot to win the national championship. They actually have a pretty easy road to the Elite Eight now, if we're really looking at it. And this is the thing here. I think Tennessee has a shot to win it all too. I think they have good Final Four odds. It really depends here how high you are on Purdue. I could see you going either way with it. The problem with Purdue is I could see them falling at some point, because the thing with Purdue is if you're able to stop the big guy, you're able to beat him. And when you get into these I think in 7-game series, Purdue probably is the best team, but this is a one-and-done scenario. So, I don't know. But I would definitely say here, out of the Midwest region, that you have Purdue and you have Tennessee as the two teams that can compete. And pretty much, going through that, there's not a whole handful of teams that can actually win the whole thing. But I think if you're making your picks, then I think you would have to go with one of those teams that I mentioned. Either UConn, Auburn, Illinois, North Carolina, then Arizona, Tennessee, Purdue is there, and then Houston. And I don't think outside of that, I could see the case for Iowa State, because they've kind of been rolling recently. So I could see the case for Iowa State. And that just makes I don't think people are realizing how packed the East region is. That is going to be a dogfight of a region. But that'll do it for this one. I have created a bracket. It's under DonLion Pro. I have the link in the description of this video that you can just click on it, join the group. If we're able to get 50 entries on that tournament challenge, then I will pay out the winner $100.